There is a war inside you. Not loud, not explosive, not the kind anyone applauds. It's the war you fight when nobody's watching. The war between who you are and who you know you could be. Between impulse and intention. Between the voice that pulls you forward and the one that drags you back into the dark. Every man carries this battlefield. Some drown in it, some run from it. A few, very few, learn to walk through it with calm eyes and a steady heart. The world sees your strength. Only you see the cracks. The doubts, the fatigue, the quiet chaos behind your ribs. But here's the truth. You are not losing this war. You are ignoring it. And the moment you face it with clarity, you take back control of your mind, your discipline, and your life. You felt it. That internal pull that makes no sense on paper. You want discipline, yet you sabotage your mornings. You want clarity, yet you bury yourself in noise. You want strength, yet you give in to the smallest impulse. It's not because you're weak. It's because the real battlefield is internal, not external. No one teaches men how to fight themselves, how to confront the parts that resist growth, how to face the old identity trying to survive while the new one tries to emerge. The inner war is subtle. The hesitation before a workout, the urge to check your phone, the emotional wave that comes out of nowhere, the sudden drop in energy when life gets quiet. You think you just lack motivation, but what you're really facing is a conflict between two identities. The man you've been and the man you're trying to become. The old self wants comfort. The new self wants direction. The tension between them is the silent war you feel every day. This video is the map, not to avoid the war, but to master it. Every inner war begins with one thing: noise. Not outside, inside. Thoughts pulling in 10 directions. Old habits whispering familiar lies. Fear wearing the mask of logic. Comfort pretending to be safety. Your nervous system learns your patterns. It memorizes your escapes. It knows exactly how to pull you away from the work that matters. You don't lose the inner war in big moments. You lose it in the small ones. When you avoid discomfort, when you reach for distraction, when you silence instincts that call you forward. But here's the truth most men never hear. Your mind is not the enemy. Your untrained mind is. The internal battlefield exists because you've never been taught to sit with discomfort long enough for it to lose its power. Pain is not the threat. Unobserved pain is. Emotion is not the problem. Uncontrolled reaction is. A warrior doesn't fight every impulse. He watches them. He chooses which ones earn his movement and which ones burn out in silence. There is a moment, one breath long, between impulse and action. That's the battleground. That's where the war is won. Golden line. Master that one breath, and you master yourself. Most men think their enemy is laziness, fear, overthinking, or lack of discipline. But the real enemy is the identity they refuse to let go. You're trying to live a new life with the habits of an old one. Trying to be a disciplined man with the reflexes of a distracted one. Trying to be a focused man while carrying the triggers of your past. The inner war intensifies every time you try to grow without shedding who you used to be. Your old self wants predictable cycles, comfort, escape, isolation, instant relief. Your future self wants structure, purpose, clarity, responsibility. They cannot coexist. Part of you is fighting to rise. Part of you is fighting to stay the same. The tension between them feels like chaos, but it's actually transition. You're not failing, you're transforming. And transformation always comes with conflict. Identity shifts are violent, quiet, disorienting. They pull up the roots of every habit you've built. They expose the parts you've avoided. They force you to confront everything you've been postponing. Golden line. The war inside you isn't destruction, it's reconstruction. The discomfort you feel is the old you losing power. Let it fall. Victory in the inner war doesn't come from trying harder. It comes from training differently. A warrior doesn't fight with emotion. He fights with rhythm. Discipline is not about intensity. It's about neutral, consistent movement. No negotiation, no drama, no internal debate. You win the inner war when you stop seeking motivation and start installing systems that carry you even when your mind resists. 3 rules of the inner warrior. 1. Reduce the noise. Silence is not empty. Silence is training. When the world gets quiet, your mind becomes visible, and you can finally work with it, not against it. 2. Win the first battle of the day. 1 clean action in the morning rewires your identity immediately. I do what needs to be done, whether I feel like it or not. 3. Let discomfort stay. Don't escape it. Don't negotiate with it. Let it exist without acting on it. This is how the brain learns new pathways. The inner warrior is not aggressive. He is steady. He is self-contained. He is unmoved by internal storms. Golden line. Strength is not the absence of inner conflict. It's the ability to move anyway. Mastery doesn't happen when the inner war ends. It happens when the inner war no longer controls your direction. The goal is not a silent mind. The goal is a stronger presence than the noise inside it. You don't win by force. You win by awareness, by recognizing the patterns before they take shape, by choosing response over reaction, by acting from identity, not emotion. Quiet mastery feels like this. You sense the old impulses. You feel the pull of distraction. You notice the fear rising, but your center stays still. You no longer fight yourself. You lead yourself. Golden line. When the war becomes quiet, your life becomes yours again. If this inspired you, give it a like. Subscribe for weekly wisdom, and share your thoughts below to grow the Inner Strength community.